Hello and welcome. My name is Mary Catherine Lundquist from the COPSA Institute for Alzheimer's Disease and Related Disorders at Rutgers University. Thank you for joining today to learn more about how you can help create an environment at your adult day center that is supportive of your participants with memory loss. The tips and strategies we are reviewing will benefit the people you are caring for and you as you go about your daily work routines. Thank you for all that you are doing every day. It takes a very special person to work in adult day services. I hope these materials help you have a better day at work. This is the fifth in a 7-part series on the Foundations workbook. You can download a free workbook at our website, www.care2caregivers.com. In part 5, we will be reviewing planning activities. If you want to follow along in your workbook, this section starts on page 47. Now, we all know in adult day that activities are at the heart of our day. Creating dementia-enabled programming every day is not easy, and we all face many challenges, but it is still possible to design and implement a vibrant activity program to help you and your participants have meaningful days together. Let's talk about some of the challenges. Which of these can you relate to? Make a mental note for yourself. Many program participants have different types of memory loss. Some may have had a stroke. Some may have Alzheimer's disease, and others may have other mental health challenges. We may have some participants who are in the early to moderate stage of decline and others who are more advanced and therefore less able to fully participate in activities. Some participants can be very passive and hardly respond, while others may be disruptive and need constant attention and redirection. Some members may speak a lot and others may be silent throughout the day. And many participants can have difficulty following simple directions during activities. In addition to all of these, many of us may be understaffed and have limited resources, but take heart as we are going to review some simple things we can do to support meaningful activity engagement at your center, which will make a positive difference even in the face of these challenges. We will review the following 6 areas that are important for us to consider in adult day: structure, exercise, paying attention to transitions, working with mixed abilities, engaging participants, and preparing activities. Our first area is structure. As a person loses their internal abilities to organize their world, it is essential that the environment provides reliable organization. Participants benefit from a consistent schedule that offers a variety of age and culturally appropriate activities. Routine is essential. The same thing should happen each day at the same time. This consistency provides stability for participants. Within this framework, we can offer some variety to keep things fresh and interesting. For instance, we can do a cognitive activity every day at 10 a.m., but the topic and props should change every day. The same with movement sessions. A lively exercise session can be wonderful in the early afternoon, and providing some variety with the type of music and the exercise aids is wonderful. Maybe one day we use exercise bands and the next day we use small 1-pound weights. Let's talk about exercise. We know it is very important for participants to have opportunities for movement throughout the day. There are easy ways that we can add this into the day without asking everyone to get up and take a lap around the building. There should be a few scheduled periods of structured exercise during the day. Many centers find that using music during these sessions can be a helpful way to encourage participation. Offering a variety of exercise options that encourage mobility, stretching, and coordination is key. Encourage everyone to participate on a level they are able. For instance, those who are able can stand and march during a lively song. Maybe they hold on to a back of a chair, while those who are in a wheelchair can march in a seated position. In addition to these longer structured exercise sessions, it can be helpful to add short bursts of movement, such as a 2-minute stretch when switching from a cognitive activity to a craft activity. And also including a good workout at the end of the day can be helpful as well. So think about your timing. Are you noticing that everyone is falling asleep during an activity? Why not try to add a song to the cognitive activity and invite everyone to clap along? This brief burst of physical movement can get the blood pumping and elevate the mood. Exercising right before the buses arrive can be a good way to channel any anxiety that clients may be experiencing in anticipation of the bus ride home. Let's talk about transitions. Remember that individuals with memory loss may need extra time and supports when switching from one activity to the next. Allow ample quiet times for transitions, such as at the beginning and the end of the day. For many people, getting ready in the morning, taking the bus, and coming into the center can be a taxing process. Once they are at the center, offer participants some downtime with relaxing music to help them unwind from this phase of their day and acclimate to their new surroundings. The same is true for the afternoon transition to going home. Having departure rituals, such as always singing the same song or hanging up your name tag, stopping in the bathroom, or reviewing what happened during the day can be reassuring for a participant and help them successfully transition to their ride home. Let's talk about mixed abilities in groups. Chances are each group we lead will have many individuals who are at different stages in the disease process. Rarely will we have a group where all the clients have exactly the same deficits and strengths. It will always be a mix. Although it's challenging, this can also be a good thing. If people had varied strengths, then more is offered to the group process. For instance, some participants may be able to recall more memories that they can share with the group, which can be beneficial and stimulating to all. The challenge for us as professionals is to engage each person during the activity in a way that is tailored to their unique strengths. For instance, if the discussion is on a current or historical event in United States history, why not sing a patriotic song and give everyone a flag to wave? It takes 1 minute, but it may get the person who is otherwise unable to engage or verbalize or answer questions, it may get them very awake, alive, and participating. Next, we have to think about how many ways we are presenting the material to the client or how many opportunities we are giving them to engage. Are we asking verbal questions? So this means they're using their hearing. Are we showing them illustration? We're giving them something that is visual to engage with. Do we have objects for them to touch that can provide some sensory stimulation, something that we can pass around the room, something that they can feel? That's another way for them to engage with the material. Do we have related music or songs for them to sing or to passively listen to? And are there movement-related activities in which they can engage? It's great for us to think about one way to include a short little movement into all of the activities that we are doing. So if we are doing a discussion, as we just mentioned earlier, on a historical event in United States history, we can always add a patriotic song to that. We can give people a flag to wave. If it's a peppy song, they can march to that. If we're talking about the beach for an activity, maybe we pass around some pictures of the beach, and maybe we have some shells or other things like that that the person can really participate in, or even recordings of what the ocean waves sound like. So these things only take 1 minute, but it may really get the person who is otherwise unable to engage very awake and more enthused about participating in the session with us. Always try to add a variety of ways for people to engage visually, through sound, through touch, and through movement. Now, we all know that many of our participants may get sleepy and doze off during the day. There are many reasons why this may happen. Maybe they had a poor night's sleep at home. Maybe they're having some side effects from medication that they're on. Or sometimes as people progress with their dementia, they may also just become more withdrawn. Still, it is best for participants to be awake and engaged during the day, as this will help them get a better night's sleep at home. Some individuals may tune out and fall asleep when it's too difficult to engage in their environment or they're overstimulated. This can be common as the disease progresses. Our goal in Adult Day is to keep each person as engaged as possible during the time that they are at the center. So just be aware of the participants who are sleeping excessively, and here are some things that you can try to help them awaken and re-engage. One of the first things that we can do is just simply to call their name. If they don't respond, you may try lightly touching them on the hand, the arm, the shoulder, or the knee. You can sit next to them and maintain eye contact. That can keep them awake and engaged. Always give them a few moments to awaken and focus. Offer them a warm greeting so they know that they're safe and everything is all right. And then you can ask them for a verbal or a nonverbal response. You can keep trying this until you get a smile or a head nod or some other type of response. And maybe if you offer them something to hold that is related to an activity that you are doing, that may help them stay awake and it may help them stay engaged as well. So in addition to these tips for keeping our friends awake at the Adult Day, let's talk about preparing, because preparation is so important. It can help set us up for success during the day. Ideally, staff should have adequate time to prepare for an activity. The activity coordinator hopefully is making sure that everyone has all the materials they need for the session. Knowing what the activities are in advance and having adequate time to prepare can help make the activities more engaging for participants, and the session can run more smoothly. Some centers report success when they discuss upcoming activities as a group on a regular basis, and then they help each other prepare. One center was planning an activity on cooking. On that day, many staff members brought in a variety of cooking tools, so the leader of the group had more visual aids. The session was a big success. Being there to support each other while the activities are going on is just as important as the collaboration we do when planning our activities. We all know how quickly a session can go off track if one of the members is having an anxious moment. That extra staff person in the room who can jump in right away to offer reassurance to the anxious member can really save the day and salvage the activity for everyone else. It's also important for us to pause and reflect and evaluate on our activity sessions. After each activity, it is helpful to take a few minutes to think about how it went. Think about the last group you led. How did it go? How did you feel at the end of the group? Did you feel that it was successful? Why or why not? How many people in the group were participating? How could you tell? What worked in keeping people engaged? What may you try differently next time? What might you suggest to a colleague who is doing this activity next month? Did it give you any ideas on other activities you may want to try with this group? Write down your thoughts. Keep them in the folder with the activity so the next person doing this activity can benefit from your wisdom and experience. Having time as a team to reflect on the successes and challenges you experience during the day is essential. So take a few minutes to discuss what you notice about activities at your next staff meeting. Mealtime is such an important time of the day, and like other activities at the center, it can also have its share of challenges. Many individuals with memory impairment will have difficulties with the steps involved in eating. Some may try to eat food off of others' plates. Some may quickly finish their meal and then insist they were never served lunch. And some may have difficulty getting the food into their mouths or drinking cups of liquids. The difficulties we see a person having with eating are most likely directly related to the brain changes they are experiencing. Our job is to help compensate for the brain damage so the person can be successful in completing the task with success and dignity. Here are a few tips to support successful meal times. Some centers find that having small cafe tables are a wonderful way to serve meals. It helps if we can limit the noise. If we're using music, try to keep it calm and quiet. Present one course at a time. Having too many plates or bowls and cups may be overwhelming and confusing for the person who has memory loss. Use a larger vessel than needed for the amount of food served. This can help a person spear the food with less spilling. Use sturdy tableware and avoid flimsy plates and cups, which may tip. Styrofoam can be eaten by mistake, so it's best to avoid it. And try stainless steel utensils if at all possible. Table decorations can be very useful in creating verbal and nonverbal opportunities to talk, but make sure they are not a distraction or a safety hazard. Change them frequently to correspond with the season. And adequate staff should be available to assist as needed to monitor food intake and also facilitate conversation. We always want to have nice, pleasant conversation and exchanges during our mealtime. Let's look at another important area at Adult Day, and that is toileting. Toileting can become problematic as dementia progresses due to changes that a person will have with orientation, with their executive functioning skills, and oftentimes decreased body awareness. People with dementia can have difficulty properly following through with the steps of self-care. Personal hygiene can become an issue. This may increase a person's risk for developing an infection, such as a urinary tract infection, which can lead to episodes of incontinency. Toileting issues are extremely private for all of us. Imagine how you would feel if you started to have difficulties in this area. As professionals assisting individuals with this very private matter, we must strive to offer sensitive and dignified assistance. Encourage the regular use of the bathroom. Having regularly scheduled times when everybody uses the bathroom may make a person feel less like they are being signaled out. Use the walk to and from the bathroom as a time to socially connect with the person. Talk with them about things that are important to them. Ask them how they are doing. Listen to what they have to say. Once you are in the bathroom, first try using nonverbal cues, such as motioning toward the bathroom stall. Take your cue from the person. Some people will do well with verbal cues, while others might get confused if someone keeps telling them what to do. Sometimes just motioning is enough, or just handing them what they need, such as toilet paper, is enough to get them started on the task. Be kind and sensitive, even if it is a messy situation. Do not call attention if there is an accident. Just focus on the cleanup and getting the person through the task in a way that still leaves them feeling good about themselves. And remember, do not talk about any toileting issues with other staff anywhere where a participant can overhear you. Even the most impaired client may be processing what you are saying and be hurt by your broadcasting of the incident. Do not assume that just because the person can't talk, they don't understand or won't be hurt or humiliated by what you say. We certainly have covered a lot in this session. Let's review. We discussed the importance of routines and consistency and how planning ahead can help. We went over the importance of adding regular exercise sessions and incorporating some short bursts of movement. We know that it's important to pay attention to transitions and leave time for people to adjust. We talked about some ideas for how to keep sleepy clients engaged. And then we also reviewed some tips on supporting our friends during mealtime and also in use of the bathroom. So all these things are important, but most important is for us to also have fun on the job. Our enthusiasm can be contagious and set the tone for everyone. If we are having a good time, it is likely that our members will pick up on our energy and share in our positive mood. I want to thank everyone for your attention and your willingness to learn more about activities. I hope the information shared in this session will make your job easier. For more information, you can contact us at COPSA, and you can also download the Foundation's workbook at www.care2caregivers.com. Thank you.